Se habla español. ¿Cómo se dice? ¿Cómo se llama? Se lo mandé. No sé. Welcome to the Say workshop, the hardest word in the Spanish language, because there's 9 ways to use this one little word. We're going to show them all to you right now. It's a very dense workshop, but well worth it because this word unlocks a lot of Spanish. So check it out. Let me know what you think, and stay tuned for free resources at the end of the video and more ways we can help you master the Spanish language and get conversational. Let's go. Vamos. Okay, we are starting the Say workshop, the hardest word in the Spanish language. Let's get right to it. This is a huge component to becoming conversational, and we'll talk about what that means versus survival Spanish. But this is something that frustrates expats, students to no end. All right, so we're gonna dig right in. So let's start with a little quiz here. Okay, we'll just, since it's a small group, we'll just alternate. Okay, what does say mean in the following 10 sentences? Okay, LJ, we'll start with you. Se habla español. What does say mean in this sentence?
See, I don't know.
Okay, JD.
It.
Okay, there is no it, as you can see in this sentence. So try
I
again.
guess, is spoken.
Okay,
No,
so
is.
So in this case, it would be is. Okay. So next one. All right. Se pasa. Okay, se pasa.
Do you want us to just say it?
Sorry.
Take-
I was thinking of 2 steps ahead. So we'll take turns, we'll alternate. So Judith, what does say mean in this sentence? Oh, she's not ready yet. JD, what does say mean in this sentence?
Well, I think I could say it be right this time.
You're right. Okay, it means it. All right. LJ, ¿cómo se dice? What does say mean?
You?
Yes, it does. JD, John se lava los manos. Excuse me, las manos. Sorry, typo.
Yeah, las manos. Okay.
John se lava las manos.
He washes.
No, good guess. LJ, any guess? What does John se lava los manos mean in this sentence?
His.
Okay, good guess. Judith, any guesses? John se lava las manos. She's not ready still. Judith, you're on mute. Okay. The answer is nothing.
Oh,
It has no English translation in this sentence. Okay. How about this one? Ellos se conocieron. What does say mean in this sentence? LJ.
Each other?
Yes.
Mm.
Okay. Yo se lo mandé. JD, I sent it to him. What does say mean?
Mm. Him?
Yep, him. Él se comió dos tacos. LJ.
Nothing?
Nothing, you're correct. It has no English translation. All right. Se me olvidaron las llaves. JD. This should be the last one. This is definitely the hardest.
Se me olvidaron las llaves. I'm not sure that has a translation.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't, in this sentence, doesn't translate. But if you said the sentence a different way, if I were to literally translate it, it would be the keys were forgotten by me.
Mm.
Okay. And so it would be were.
Se would be were.
Yeah, they were forgotten.
Good, great. Huh?
Okay. Or it could also mean, it's kind of an in-between. It's a reflexive verb. It could either mean nothing. Excuse me. Yeah, it could really mean nothing. It's just a reflexive verb. Let's go nothing. It's a kind of a fuzzy area one. But basically, for all intents and purposes, it means nothing in English. All right. It's just a reflexive verb, and that's it. But it could either mean were or nothing. Okay. John se duerme ahora. LJ.
Is
Good guess. This one is also nothing.
nothing.
Okay. It's a reflexive verb, and all it does is indicate immediacy. Like it's happening now. John duerme is he sleeps. John sleeps. John se duerme is like more immediate. And yo no sé. Everybody?
No.
No. Okay. So look at this sheet here. How many different words just on this little sheet? Is, it, you, nothing, each other, him, nothing, nothing, were, nothing, no. Look how many different uses are of this one little word. This is the nightmare of the word say. Okay, and there is no way in this world I can get you to master this in this 1 hour. That's not my objective here. My objective here is to show you that there is logic to it, that it does have an explanation, that it is not random, that there are rules, and that it can be learned, but it's not going to happen today. You're going to get an introduction today, okay? Because LJ has been studying for years in high school, years in college, off and on for decades. And you didn't know these things, right?
No.
Right?
I was always confused by reflexive verbs.
All of it. And there's a lot more here than reflexives. There's much more. There's passive verbs. We're going to get into what there is. But with all of those thousands of hours of time you've spent with a qualified teacher in the university system, they couldn't teach you this.
I don't know that I blame them so much.
I do, because I know the system. I
okay.
went through the system, and the evidence is all around us, right? All you have to do is walk outside in Latin America and look at the gringos. How many of them could answer this test? Probably 1 out of 100, and I'm being generous. Okay? So 1% of all the millions of expats in Latin America, that's a failure of the system. That's not a failure of students. These are all smart people, people with careers, people with degrees, people with higher education, people who have proven themselves intelligent enough to have jobs, have houses, have families, have careers, have businesses. And yet they can't get this one little word in Spanish. It's a failure of the system. And it's one of the many reasons why 99% of expats in Latin America and Spain don't speak conversational Spanish, because the system is failing you. The tutors, the teachers, the Duolingos, it's all bad. And I know because I had to go through it and I had to start fixing it in order to teach people. Right? And the difference between what we do and what everyone else does is I made a decision a long time ago to only teach conversational Spanish. I did not let people come and go. It wasn't like 1 week or 1 month and then they go to the next tutor and the next tutor and the next tutor. I had to make sure I got them the results, whereas every other tutor, they kind of work for a while and then it's not kind of working. Let me try another tutor. And then you try and it's not kind of working. And you keep bouncing from app to tutor to school to app to tutor to school and bouncing around the world of Spanish and never getting there. Right? Whereas I had to find solutions because I've made that commitment to my students to find them for them. And because we are one of the few schools that does that it does not take students for survival Spanish, only gets you to the finish line, we have to solve these problems or you won't be conversational. So that's what makes our school unique, is we solve every problem that you can possibly think of. So this is a big workshop. Okay, it's a big one. These are topics that will take you months to learn, but all right. Sorry, Judith. Sure, her camera keeps freezing. All right. So these are the 9 topics that the word say can be used in. Okay, again, we'll touch on them today, but we're not going to master them today. Each one of them is an hour lesson in itself. Okay, but they can be learned. So the first is passive verbs. All right, Spanish is spoken. I speak Spanish, yo hablo español. Spanish is spoken. In English class, your teacher probably told you, don't use the passive voice. Okay, when you're in high school. Well, this is the passive voice in Spanish. All right, then impersonal verbs. It happens, se pasa. Okay, it's not like, who are you talking about? There's no real person that's a subject of this sentence. It's not John, it's not Maria, it's not you, it's not me. It's just it happens, right? There's no clear who, so it's impersonal. Indirect object pronouns. I sent to him, that's called an indirect object. To him. All right? So they use say in certain special situations for indirect pronouns. Reflexive verbs. Se pregunta, he asks himself, or he wonders. All right. There is a whole category of reflexive verbs. Some people refer to them as pronominal verbs. I tend to use reflexive because honestly, all these different names here, just call them reflexive verbs and be done with it. Okay, you don't need to remember the names of reciprocal, pronominal, immediate, intensify. You don't need to remember all these names. All you need to remember is the word reflexive verbs, and even though there are slightly different situations that they are used in here, in essence, they're all just reflexive verbs. And if you know how to do a reflexive verb, you can do all these situations correctly. Okay, so the big umbrella word is reflexive verb. Okay, but these are like subcategories. Okay, so the first one is kind of a standard. He asks himself, se pregunta. This one's called a reciprocal, se conocieron, they met each other. This one's just a pronominal because it has no English explanation. Se va, he leaves. El se va. There's no It has no meaning in English. Se me olvidó la llave. I forgot the key. Again, no real meaning in English. When you use a reflexive with an indirect pronoun. Immediate, all right, it means it's happening now. Se duerme. And intensifying, se comió dos tacos. It's like, you could say él comió dos tacos, like he ate 2 tacos, or él se comió dos tacos. Wow, he ate 2 tacos. It just intensifies it. Okay, so these are the categories. All right, so let's start with the first 3 here, and then we'll teach you reflexive verbs, and then we'll touch on the variations of reflexive verbs. All right, it is 11:51. Our goal is in 40 minutes, so that's 10 minutes per thing here. Okay, so if I can achieve any semblance of success today in you understanding this little word in 1 hour, it's a miracle. Okay, I do this massive workshop because a lot of people want to know, but then you in here and I got to tell you, right, it's bigger than can possibly be taught in 1 hour. All right. So, big picture, conversational Spanish for survival Spanish. We want this. We don't want to look like Will Ferrell when they talk to us. Okay, that's right now how it feels when you're probably listening to a Spanish speaker, right? Here is the difference between survival and conversational. Survival is memorization versus, it's memorization versus improvisation, speaking versus listening, and vocabulary versus all skills. Okay, what do I mean by this? How, LJ, how would you say I want tacos?
Quiero tacos.
That's right. Now, if the waiter comes back and says, los traigo enseguida, what would you say?
Okay.
Exactly. Okay. This is the difference between survival and conversational. It's easy to memorize random things to say. But what you can't memorize is what they're going to say back to you. You have to be able to improvise. And the way to improvise is you have to hear them, understand them, and have all the skills, the grammar, the verb tenses, the vocabulary, all of it. Because they are not going to speak in caveman Spanish. They are going to speak in fluent Spanish because they're fluent Spanish speakers, right? They're not going to go slow for you. They're not going to use small baby words for you. They're going to use their entire vocabulary. So this is the Spanish is like an iceberg. Survival Spanish is the part that everybody sees on all the Duolingos and all the YouTube channels and all the apps and all the schools and all the tutors. They're teaching you survival Spanish. They're teaching you how to memorize random things. What they're not teaching you is everything else that you need to understand fluency. So everyone learns how to order food and everyone learns how to get a taxi because you can memorize what to say. But everyone has trouble understanding what they're saying back to you. Well, that's because you can't memorize what they're saying back to you because there's an infinite ocean of things they could say back to you. All right. So this is why my job is hard, to get people to understand Duolingo is stupid. Right? Getting people to understand if your goal is to converse with somebody, every minute you spend on Duolingo is a waste of your time. You need a better system. You need something that prepares you with all the skills, not just memorizing random words. Okay, you got to understand words like say, right? You have to, okay? Because you're going to hear this little word all the time. Do you know how you would say, LJ, keep going straight?
Continue. Va, continuar. I don't know.
You'd point your hand and say continuar, right?
Right.
Okay, or va. Well, guess what? You would probably survive if you did that. Okay, but when they reply When they say it, there's 20 ways you could say it and it would all be correct. Sigue derecho, siga derecho. Continúa derecho, sigue recto, vaya directo, vas a seguir derecho, tienes que ir derecho, hay que caminar directo. These are all valid ways someone could tell you to keep going straight. Just like in English, hey, where's the movie theater? Oh, keep going straight. It's right ahead. Go ahead. Straight ahead. It's in front of you, right? There's 10,000 ways you could say the same thing. Same in Spanish. So you can't memorize Spanish, conversational Spanish. You have to have tools to improvise. Okay? And those are the tools we give you. All right? So we want to get you to here, B2 and above. Anything under this is glorified survival caveman Spanish. All right? We got to get you here to this finish line and above. All right? And to do that, you need words. You need to hear the words. You need to say the words. You need to have perfect pronunciation, listening skills, 200 verbs, 8 verb tenses, 200 glue words, and 50 vocabulary topics. This little chart I have created from 25 years of teaching, learning, studying, and teaching Spanish. Okay, so this is it. Pronunciation skills, listening skills, a little bit of survival Spanish, 200 verbs, 8 verb tenses, 200 glue words, and a bunch of vocabulary topics. Okay, so I could have chosen 100 verbs and 4 verb tenses, and nobody would know the difference. And I'd say, hey, it's conversational, but it's not. And you would find out the hard way because you would finish and you still wouldn't understand people. So this, to me, is a minimum requirement to be conversational. I tried to boil this down as small of a curriculum as I could, and this was the best I could do, and still honestly call it conversation. Right? Anything less than this, and it's really not. So with that said, okay, we'll get to the workshop, but we'll talk about afterwards what we do. But in 15 hours, we're going to give you the structure of Spanish, how Spanish works, things like say. And then we'll add the 8 verbs, tenses with 200 verbs, 200 glue words, 2,000 vocabulary. And with that, you can have a one-on-one conversation with just about anybody, anytime, any place. And then from there, fluent Spanish, 34 tenses, 800 verbs, and be able to have group conversations, comedy, more complex situations. Okay. And we have unlimited live classes, unlimited video lessons, unlimited flashcards, unlimited Facebook and WhatsApp support 24/7 with 40 years of experience. So we give you everything. It's the no excuse school. And this is our team. All right. With that said, let's get to the workshop, shall we? Oh, and there will be a guarantee. If you sign up this week, you can get this guarantee. Okay, so here we go. Let's start with the first one, passive verbs. First and foremost, does everybody have a piece of paper and a pencil?
Yep.
Good?
Yep.
Good. All right. For those watching this on replay, if you don't, get one now, because you need to treat Spanish with respect. This is one of the big flaws that students make. So a lot of the problem is the system, but there are also problems with students is they don't treat Spanish the way you treated other things that you learned in your life, right? When we had to learn important things in our life, you focus, right? You go to high school, you go to college, you go to grad school, you train for your job, right? If you're going to take something seriously, you do it a certain way with a quality of focus. And most people treat Spanish like, oh, well, babies just learn it by immersion. And that's just false. We're not babies anymore, right? we need to focus. You need to study, right? Imagine paying $100,000 to your university and say, I'm just going to go and kind of like hang around the physics people and eventually I'll learn physics. Like, that's just not how it works. You know, so I'm going to just learn how to play the piano by going to the bar a lot and watching people play music. Like, that's not how you learn to play piano, right? You have to study. You have to do your chords. So I know I'm, talking a lot of mindset stuff right now, but when our goal today is to get you to the finish line, this is important stuff. Okay, so here we go. Category 1, passive verbs. Spanish is spoken here. Se habla español aquí. All right, this would be like I watch. Wait, I did the, I gotta write this in English. Okay. I watch movies in the theater. Okay. Yo miro películas en el cine. This would be a normal sentence. But if we flip it around, so yo is the subject, mirar, yo miro is the verb, and películas is the object. Okay. I watch movies. But we can flip it around and turn the object, movies, into the subject and turn it into the passive voice. So instead of I watch movies, we flip it around and movies are watched. And what they do, you could say this 2 ways. Se miran las películas or las películas se miran. Movies are watched. Okay. All right. Either way makes it would be perfectly fine in Spanish. Spanish has a lot more flexibility with sentence structure. Does this make sense here? How you just flip a verb around? Let's look at some more examples. I cook tacos. Tacos are cooked. Yo cocino tacos. Los tacos se cocinan, or se cocinan tacos. Right? Make sense?
Mhm.
This one, los tacos son or están cocinados, depending what you're trying to say. It could go either way. Los tacos son cocinados, they are cooked. This would also be the passive voice using ser and a star. Okay, but it's just another way to do things in Spanish. So se is used to just turn a sentence around and say, I cook tacos, tacos are cooked. All right. You wouldn't say, yo se cocino, like I cook, I am cooking or something. No. Or we are cooking. No. You say something is being cooked. Something is cooked. Se cocinan. And so what if it was pizza is cooked? Pizza is cooked. How would you say pizza is cooked? Pizza is cooked at the restaurant. Who wants to take a shot at that?
I don't know the noun for pizza, but say cocina pizza.
Yes, good. And you did exactly what I wanted, was the right answer. If pizza, so pizza is now the subject, right? The tacos are cooked. The pizza is cooked. Pizza has become the subject. So pizza is singular. So cocina, the verb has to be matching the subject. So in this one, it's cocinan, se cocinan tacos because it's plural. And this one, it's se cocina pizza because it's singular. Pizza is singular. Make sense? Se cocinan tacos, se cocina pizza. Good? That's called the passive voice. All right. The rest of these are just stuff you've probably heard before. I speak Spanish. Yo hablo español. Spanish is spoken. JD, how do you say Spanish is spoken?
No, se habla español.
Good. I sell land. Yo vendo terrenos. LJ, land is sold.
Se venden terrenos.
Good. Have you seen that somewhere?
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah,
driving,
yeah.
if you're driving through Mexico or something.
Or I'm on a lot of Facebook groups about renting and buying and.
Yeah, you could say se venden terrenos or se vende terreno.
Mhm.
Right. I rent apartments. Yo rento departamentos. JD, apartments are rented.
Se rentan departamentos.
Good. I buy pesos. Yo compro pesos. Pesos are bought. LJ.
Se compran pesos.
There you go. Any questions on the passive verbs? All right. It's just the passive voice. You're just, I eat tacos. Tacos are eaten. It's just turning the object into the subject, flipping it around. Okay. Impersonal verbs. Si se puede. What does that mean? Si se puede.
Yes, you can.
That's right. Okay. So yes, you can. All right. So se means you. Okay. But are we talking about you, JD? Si se puede. Am I talking specifically about you? Yes, you can.
No, I don't think so. I think it's more got a third person thing.
It's just totally general. All right. So se in this case is replacing usted or ustedes. Okay. It means you. Si se puede. Si se pueden. All right. What's another example of the general impersonal you? Something, an expression that you've probably used a lot.
Like como se dice.
That's
something
right.
like that? Okay.
Como se dice? How do you say bathroom?
Mm.
Right? You're not saying how do you say it. It's not, I don't want JD's opinion. I want how is it said. Okay. Here's another one. We did this. Yes, you can. Si se puede. You never know. Nunca se sabe. Okay. Nunca se sabe. You must eat vegetables. LJ, can you read that one? You must eat vegetables.
Se debe comer vegetales.
Good. Vegetales. All right.
Vegetales.
That's right. Okay. So, se debe comer vegetales. You must eat vegetables. Okay. It's not you, it's everybody. Okay. Any questions on the impersonal you or they? Make sense?
Yeah.
So we have passive voice, se cocinan tacos, se vende terreno. We have the impersonal, nunca se sabe, como se dice, si se puede. All right. Object pronouns. This is a massive lesson that gives people years of problems. Okay. So John sent a gift to Maria. All right. Él se lo mandó. He sent it to her. All right. John, gift, Maria. These are nouns. Down here, these are pronouns. He, it, her. They are pronouns are words that replace nouns. Right? Nouns and pronouns. Now, what is an object pronoun? What is an object pronoun? Does anyone know what I mean when I say object pronoun?
It's the thing the verb is acting upon.
What's the object in this sentence, JD?
I would say the object is gift.
That's right. Okay. What is Maria?
She's a subject.
Is she?
Well, it's either John or Maria.
What do you
Okay,
think, LJ?
so John is the subject, Maria is the indirect.
What do you what do you think, LJ? What is the subject in this sentence, and what are the objects?
John is the subject.
Mm-hmm.
The gift is an object. Maybe Maria is also an object.
That's right. You both got it. Gift and Maria are both objects. Gift is called a direct object, and Maria is called an indirect object. What is the definition of an object? Well, a subject is the person doing the verb or the thing doing the verb. So John is doing the verb. He's sending. So he's the subject. The object is the thing the verb is doing to. All right, is being done to or by the verb. So the gift is being sent. So that's the object. And to Maria, that's called an indirect. All right, Maria is not being sent. Like you're not putting Maria in a package and sending her. Right? But she is indirectly receiving the verb. The verb is sending something to her or for her. Okay, so she is an indirect object. She is still the recipient of the action in some indirect way. Okay, so does that make sense? A subject, an object, and an indirect object?
Yeah.
Okay. So here we take a look at 3 sentences. I need to give the pizza to John. Yo necesito dar la pizza a John. Okay, so yo is what? Subject, direct object, or indirect object?
Subject.
Good. What is the direct object? LJ?
Pizza. The pizza.
And what's the indirect object?
John.
Good. Okay. So now, if we want to do it with pronouns instead of nouns, right? Instead of I need to give the pizza to John, it's I need to give it to him. All right. The direct pronouns, the direct object pronouns are these, and the indirect object pronouns are these. Those are your choices. So, so pizza has to be one of these, and John has to be one of these. Okay. So we have to figure out which one. So let's start with just direct object. I need to give it to John. So all we're doing is giving pizza a pronoun, it. So pizza is a direct object. So I need to give it, the pizza, to John, it. What is it going to be? The pizza.
La.
La. Okay. It's not lo, it's not los, it's not las, it's not me, te, se, or nos. It's la. La pizza, la, right? It matches the gender. Right? Okay. What if you were to say, I need to give the taco to John? I need to give it to John. What would the taco be?
Lo.
Lo. Yo lo necesito dar a John. What if it's the tacos? I need to give them to John.
Los.
Los. Yo los necesito dar a John. I need to give the pizzas to John. What would it be?
Las.
Good. So how would you say, I need to give them to John, the pizzas?
Yo las necesito dar a John.
That's right. All right. Now this is kind of weird, but what if if you said, I need to give you to John? I need to give you to John. Okay, what would it be? How would you say, I need to give you to John?
Yo te necesito dar a John.
That's correct. Okay. I need to give myself, or how would you say, John needs to give me, or Maria needs to give me to John? All right.
Maria me necesita dar. Where now I'm getting confused. It's a weird sentence.
I know. Okay. Maria needs to give me to John. How would you say it?
Maria me necesita dar a John.
That's right. Okay, so lo, la, los, las, me, te, nos. Okay, these are direct objects. If it doesn't matter if it's, because people often think of objects as objects and people as people. No, a person can be an object. Okay, this is grammar talk now. We're talking grammar. Okay, when I'm talking the direct object, it could be a person, a place, a thing, or anything. Any noun. All right. How about Maria? Maria needs to give him to John. Maria needs to give him to John.
María lo necesita
That's right.
dar.
So lo can be him. All right. Lo, la, los, las, me, te, no. These don't mean him or her specifically. They mean the direct object. All right. So it could be a person, a place, a thing. All right. This is kind of weird, but Maria needs to give the island to John. La isla. It would be la. Maria la necesita dar a John. So it doesn't matter if it's a person, a place, or a thing. Whatever the noun is, the direct object is, these are the pronouns. Lo, la, los, las, me, te, nos. Those are your choices. Okay. On the other hand, John is an indirect. So John is going to be, so let's look at the next sentence. I need to give the pizza to him. Okay. So him has to be le, les, me, te, nos, or se. These are your choices. So what is it? I need to give the pizza to him.
Lay.
Lay. Okay. So how would you say, I need to give the pizza to her?
Lay.
That's right. So yo le necesito. So it doesn't matter if it's him or her for the indirect objects.
So yeah, you just stop with la pizza there. Okay. Yeah.
Yo le necesito dar la pizza. I need to give the pizza to her.
Oh, you left out dar.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay. How about I need to give you the pizza?
Hey.
Good.
Yeah.
Give me the whole sentence. Give me the whole sentence.
Yo te
Yo-
necesito dar la pizza.
Okay. How about I need to give the pizza to us? LJ?
Yo nos necesito dar la pizza.
Good. So do you notice that mete and nos is the same for indirect and direct objects?
Okay.
Okay. So if you're talking about, I need to give, this would never happen, but just to demonstrate it, if you wanted to say, I need to give you to you, I need to give you to you, it would be yo te necesito dar.
When would you ever use that?
You wouldn't, but I just want to show you that the direct and indirect objects are both te. Okay, they're different things here in this sense, but they're both te. Okay, so you would never say that, never, ever, ever, but I'm just saying indirect and direct objects. Okay, so I need to give you to them. All right. So now we're getting into the third category. All right. I need to give the pizza to John. I need to give it to him. So now we're doing two pronouns. We're doing the direct and indirect pronouns both. Okay. And so let's ignore this sentence here. Let's take this down here. I need to give it to him. All right. We're talking about the pizza to John. So it is direct or indirect, LJ?
Direct.
All right. So yo necesito dar la pizza a John. So that's our sentence. So we're going to get rid of la pizza and John.
Mhm.
Pronouns, they go before the verb. So it, la pizza, is going to be what? What's the la pizza going to be?
La.
La. Okay. And LJ, what is him going to be?
Lay.
Lay. Okay. Does lay go before or after la? Is it yo lay la or yo la lay?
I don't know.
All right. It's lay la. The indirect goes before the direct.
Okay.
Always. That's always.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So yo lay la necesito dar. Are we done? Is that the answer?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's everything. Yeah.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah.
Okay.
What else could we say?
What else could you do? Okay. Well, Spanish doesn't like to be easy. Okay. So
Oh, yeah.
they don't like
Layla.
the lay and the lace is followed by a direct object. So they don't like lay la, lay lo, lay las, lay los, lay me, lay te, lay no. They don't like lay and lace followed by a direct object. So
Was that
if-
where you used say?
Yes. So if it's lay or lace followed by a direct object, they change it to say. And there is no reason why, they just do. Welcome to the world of Spanish.
No, they're not Clapton fans, I guess.
Layla. Well played, well played. Okay. All right. So that is the answer. When you see se la necesito dar, in this case, it's a pronoun. Okay. And the only way you would know what it means is if you had context. You couldn't look at this sentence and know what say means. Say could mean, I need to give the pizza to him, to her, to them, to you guys. It could mean a bunch of things.
But it's representing the direct object here.
It's representing John in this case.
Who?
Okay,
Oh,
but
he's the indirect object, though, right?
yeah, say is replacing la is la pizza. Lay is John. La is replacing la pizza, the direct object. Lay is replacing John, the indirect object. Now, what if I said I need to give it to them? What would it be?
Same.
It's well, it would be less.
It would be lace, right? But the rule still applies. They don't like lace law. They don't like it. So they changed lace to say also. So,
They kind of
lay-
becomes a universal thing.
so lay and lace, if they are followed by a direct object, become say. So say can mean lay or lace. Say equals lay, lace. Okay. Say is lay or lace. That's what it is. But it's only used if you're using it, if you're following it with another pronoun. Yo sé la necesito dar. If not, then you just use lay and lace. Yo le necesito dar la pizza. Okay, if there's no pronouns following lay, then it's just you keep it at lay. If there is a pronoun following lay, you change it to say. That's how it is. I didn't invent the rules, I'm just teaching you. Okay, so here are some examples. All right, of direct and indirect objects. Okay, I throw it, yo lo tiro. Yo tiro la pelota, yo la tiro. Yo tiro los globos, yo los tiro. Yo tiro las pelotas, yo las tiro. I throw myself, yo me tiro. I throw you, yo te tiro. I throw us, yo nos tiro. All right. I throw to John, right? So you're not throwing John, you're throwing to John. Yo le tiro la pelota. I throw to John and Jane. Yo les tiro la pelota. I throw to myself. Yo me tiro la pelota. I throw to you. Yo te tiro la pelota. I throw to us. Yo nos tiro la pelota. Now, combine. All right. I throw it. Let's go down to the say ones down here at the bottom. All right. I throw it to him. Yo se lo tiro. Yo tiro la pelota a John. Yo se la tiro. Yo tiro los globos a John. Yo se los tiro. Yo tiro las pelotas a John. Yo se las tiro. All right. So this is say when it's used with pronouns. Is your brain spinning yet?
Winding up.
Okay. Last but not least, reflexive verbs. All right, we're a little over time, but how you guys doing on energy?
I'm fine on energy, but I don't have a lot more time, maybe 15 minutes.
All right. Well, that'll give us enough time. Okay. John asks, John pregunta. John asks himself, John se pregunta. Okay. This is called a reflexive verb. All right. These are the reflexive pronouns. They're not objects. They're not what we just studied. They're totally different. Okay. So you have a verb preguntar, to ask. Yo pregunto, tú preguntas. Mi amigo pregunta, mis amigos preguntan, nosotros preguntamos. Any questions about preguntar? We all get that, right? That's a normal verb. Down below it is preguntarse, which means I wonder, or to wonder or to ask yourself. So If you want to say I wonder, it's yo me pregunto, tú te preguntas, mi amigo se pregunta, mis amigos se preguntan, nosotros nos preguntamos. So you add this little reflexive in front of the verb. That's it. It's just an extra little thing. If you want to say I wonder, yo me pregunto. Do you wonder? Tú te preguntas? Do you wonder? It makes more sense if we say to myself, I ask myself, because then it makes a little more sense to us. Right? But I'm going to show you cases where it doesn't make sense. And this is where first all you got to really know about reflexive verbs is that they're there. If it's a reflexive verb, you just have to add the reflexive. You don't really need to translate it to something. Because sometimes you can translate it, as in this case, but sometimes you can't. And so if you keep trying to translate it, you'll eventually get stuck. It's better to just know that if I want to say to wonder, it's just preguntarse, and that's it. All right. So same thing. All right. Here are examples of reflexive verbs. Okay. So llamo, I call, you call, yo llamo, tú llamas, right? Mi amigo llama, mis amigos llaman. I call my friend, I call my mom, I call my dad, I call my neighbor. Yo llamo. Llamarse is a reflexive verb. So I call myself Peter. Yo me llamo Peter. You guys have all learned that, right? Me llamo John. Me llamo JD. Me llamo LJ. What you're really saying is I call myself. Okay? Tú te llamas. Mi amigo se llama John. Mis amigos se llaman John y Maria. Me te se nos. We call ourselves, nos llamamos los Lakers. We call ourselves the Lakers. Okay? So, me te se nos. These are the 5 reflexive verbs. Make sure you have those written down. Me te se nos. All right. So I wash. How? Give me a sentence, LJ, with I wash. Yo lavo.
Yo lavo, los platos. I can't think of any nouns.
That's right. Yo lavo los platos. Okay. I wash the dishes. I wash myself. Yo me lavo. Tú te lavas. Mi amigo se lava. Mis amigos se lavan. Nosotros nos lavamos. Here's the problem. I wash my hands. How would you say I wash my hands? Is it yo lavo los manos? Or yo me lavo los manos? Excuse me, las manos. Would you go reflexive verb or normal verb?
Can it be either one?
I don't know. You tell me. Is that your guess?
I would say reflective.
Okay.
I would say reflexive too.
It is reflexive. Even though the word myself is not in this sentence, you still use the reflexive verb because you are washing yourself. So, yo me lavo las manos or mis manos. So how would you say John washes his hands? How would you say that?
John se lava sus manos.
That's right. Okay, so that's how say is used with reflexive. This, I just want to make the point that not all reflexive verbs reflect onto yourself. And so here are some other examples. Okay. Ear and earsay. Okay. They don't, it doesn't have anything to do with myself. All right. So I fall down. Yo me caigo. You're not falling on yourself. All right. I complain. All right. Yo me quejo. I don't complain myself. How about ir versus irse? Okay. Ir is yo voy, I go. Irse, yo me voy, I leave, or I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
So it has nothing to do with I go myself. That's not what you're saying. Right? Yo voy, yo me voy. So it doesn't really fit in the reflexive verb category, but it behaves exactly the same way. You have to use a reflexive. If you want to say I leave, it's yo me voy. John leaves, John's leaving, John se va. John's going to the market, John va al mercado, or John's leaving the party, John se va de la fiesta. All right, or John's leaving, John se va. Okay, so this is where, yeah, does it really matter that you know that it's pronominal or reflexive? Does that really matter? No. All you need to know is that you want to say, I'm leaving, it's irse. I call myself, it's llamarse. I have fun, it's divertirse. I wake up, it's despertarse. Right? I wash myself, it's lavarse. I fall down, it's caerse. You don't really need to know or even think about, does it mean myself or not or what? You just have to know it's lavarse. You put a reflexive. It's irse. You put a reflexive. That's it. Don't overthink it. If you overthink it, you'll make it harder than it needs to be. Just know that preguntarse means to wonder, and irse means to leave, and caerse means to fall down, and you're good. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it makes sense in English, like, you know, llamarse kind of makes sense. I call myself, and sometimes it's like irse, I'm leaving, it doesn't. All right, they're all just reflexive verbs. Okay, so there's a few others that go under this category. Let's see, I think I messed something up. Yeah, I forgot to put this. There we go. Okay. Okay, so down below, we have reciprocal verbs. To meet up. All right, so this is like we're meeting up with each other. The simplest way to explain this is each other or with one another. Okay, and so you use reflexive verbs, but you wouldn't say I meet up with myself, right? And you wouldn't say you meet up with yourself, and you wouldn't say he meets up with himself. So those three are not present. But you would say they meet up with each other. Ellos se encuentran. Or we meet up with each other. Nosotros nos encontramos. So you'll only use it for plural or nosotros. We meet up with each other or they meet up with each other. All right. So how about we meet each other? Like we meet for the first time. Conocerse. All right. Nos conocemos. We meet each other. All right. They meet each other. Se conocen. Or they just met. Ellos se conocieron. They met. All right. And how about to help each other? Ellos se ayudan. They help each other. We help each other. Nosotros nos ayudamos. Okay. So it's still just a reflexive verb, but it's only for each other. Okay. You would never use it with these guys. Make sense? Reciprocal verbs?
Yeah, so that is ayudarse over there.
Where?
in red.
Yeah. Thank you.
Just thought you might want to fix that.
Thank you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Intensifying.
I'm sorry, could you just go back to that previous, just for a second? Thank you.
This will be recorded, so you can write things down. You can check the recording. Okay.
Okay, all right, thanks.
And we'll be able to access and look at all these slides.
In the group, in the recording.
Okay.
All right. Or join our program, and then you'll get more than these slides. You'll get flashcards. You'll get individual videos for each topic that goes more in depth, more examples, more practice, more homework, right? Because right now I'm giving you theory. But how does this get into your brain? With lots and lots of repetition.
Mm-hmm.
And in our program, we have live classes and videos and flashcards for you to get that repetition.
Cool.
Okay. So here's intensifying verbs. John ate 2 tacos. John comió 2 tacos. And John ate 2 tacos. John se comió 2 tacos. They really mean the same thing, but they just use the reflexive verb to just emphasize it more. That's it. Okay. So if you want to say it, like if you want to say I ate 2 tacos, yo me comí 2 tacos, you'd use the reflexive verb. All right. So you're just using a reflexive verb to intensify something. And then the immediate verbs. All right. You could also use reflexive verbs to make it more immediate. All right. You could intensify it or make it more immediate. I eat, yo como, yo me como. I eat right now. Me como 2 tacos. Me tomo una cerveza. I'm going to have a beer right now. Yo me duermo. I'm going to go to sleep right now. Okay. In a weird way, it's like turning the present tense into the future tense. It's like saying I eat, yo como, and yo me como is like I'm going to eat a little bit. All right. It's like yo duermo, I sleep. I sleep every day at 9 p.m. Yo duermo todos los días a las 9. All right. I'm going to sleep. Ya me duermo. I'm going to sleep already. Ya me duermo. Okay. John's already going to sleep. John's ya se duerme. All right. John se toma 2 cervezas is like, or John se toma ya. It's like he's drinking already. He's drinking now. All right. So it's just immediacy. You turn a normal verb and use a reflexive to make it immediate.
So you wouldn't follow that with ahora because it would be redundant?
You could.
Good, okay.
A lot of times Spanish is redundant.
Yeah.
Really. They say a lot of things twice or multiple times. Like, yo necesito dar la pizza a John. They might throw the pronouns in and the nouns in the same sentence. They might say, yo se la necesito dar la pizza a John or a él. They might, I need to give him the pizza to John. Like they'll throw it. They're very redundant.
Okay.
All right. Last but not least, reflexive verbs plus indirect pronouns. So this is taking 2 things and mixing them together. And this is going to blow your brain apart. Okay. So these are advanced special cases. So don't read this whole thing right now. We've already talked about immediate reflexive verbs with gustar. That's a whole nother topic. This is the one I'm looking at down here. Okay. I broke the glass. Yo rompí el vaso. Or you might hear them say, el vaso se me rompió. Or se me rompió el vaso. This basically means the glass was broken by me. Okay, so they use the reflexive verb and turn, instead of I broke the glass, they turn me into an indirect object. The glass was broken by me.
Mhm.
All right.
So se me cayó el libro, is that the book was dropped by me or the
That's
book?
right.
Or the
By
book dropped,
the book was dropped by me.
or the book dropped from me? The book fell from me.
It could be by me, from me, for me, to me. Indirect objects could be by me, to me, for me, from me. It could be many things. Okay. So however makes sense to you, that's what it is. All
So
right.
it's like art. Okay.
The book was dropped by me. The book was dropped from me, whatever.
So I'm gonna have to leave.
Okay.
So
So
what, yeah,
next steps. All right. We have lots of testimonials. I'll come back to that, but next steps, best thing you can do is just schedule a call. Right? You schedule a call, we spend 30 to 60 minutes going over your goals together. I look at exactly what you need, what you've been missing. I look at your schedule, how many minutes or hours a day you have to study, and we come up with a plan. And I say, here's what you need, step by step. And if you like it, you join our program. Okay? If you have questions, you can email me questions. We do have more free workshops like the one you've just done in our Facebook group here, which is always good. But truth be told, and JD knows this, he's sort of beginning in the program, trying to get himself settled where he can study consistently, right, JD? Trying to
I'm working on that.
settle in one place and get studying. But JD can tell you these workshops are a small part of what we offer. We offer unlimited live classes with our team every day to practice. Our schedule is small group classes. We have one-on-ones as needed, but from 8 in the morning till 6:30 at night Pacific time, we are online practicing with our students all day, every day. Okay, so there's no excuse. Any time of day you're free, you jump in. Our team is sitting there practicing Spanish with you.
mhm.
Okay, and then we have everything like you just saw here on a video and a flashcard. So you can study on your own time as well. You should study on your own time. Okay, so we have how to read, how to listen, some vocabulary,
Mhm.
sentence structure, question. We have a whole curriculum that we will customize to you, your level, your goals. And then in that curriculum, okay, let's say you're working on the magic verbs. Okay, there's a link down below to flashcards. And in these flashcards, you have, like Duolingo, like anything, you do this on your phone.
Tú tienes que cerrar la puerta.
We could take the medicine.
Nosotros podríamos tomar la medicina.
Okay. So we have videos, flashcards, we have 24/7 support, meaning Facebook, meaning 24/7 support means on WhatsApp and Facebook, you can text us and we will give you an answer within the day, anytime, anything about Spanish. So it's basically having 5 coaches with you in your pocket all the time. Right, JD?
Yeah, I see I track a lot of action on WhatsApp.
There's a lot of questions. You can ask us anything, anytime. We have videos, we have flashcards, we have unlimited classes, and we have a method that works. This is our promise to you. If you commit to finish the program, we will commit to getting you to the finish line, whatever it takes.
Sounds very interesting. I'm going to check into it further.
Excellent. So first, best thing for sure, website, fcsprogram.com. We have some testimonials and things there. And we'll just see you soon, hopefully. All right.
Well, yeah, thank you. I learned a lot today. I realize it's, you know,
A mountain.
you're trying to maybe give an idea of how things work with you and who you are and what the approach might be. But I learned a lot. And
My whole mission in these workshops is give people some free guidance that gives you clarity, and then give you the reality. The reality is, you want to get to the mountaintop. There's
exactly
there's a lot of steps to get there.
right. It's
Right.
a reality check. I appreciate that.
It's a reality check. We'll get you there. If this is a goal that you want in your life, there are steps. We got them. We'll get you there.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. Good luck, JD. And yeah, it's been a pleasure spending time with you folks today.
Yes, and the last piece is, if you sign up this week, we have a guarantee where if you don't hit your goals, you continue for free until you do. So sign up for that call quick if you want that guarantee.
Okay. All right. Adios.
Hasta pronto.
Espero que nos vemos.
If I
Ciao.
can figure out how to turn off my meeting. There it is. Okay, bye, everybody.
Adios, amigos. If you're watching this video, it means you really want to learn conversational Spanish, whether it's for dating, friendships, relationships, or just to immerse in the culture. I promise you, vale la pena. It's worth it. But I have to be honest with you. My workshops alone will not get you there. These are pieces in a much bigger puzzle. This is the easy part of the journey, the academic part. You need more. You need immersion. You need daily practice with native speakers who will help correct you and guide you, but also make it feel real. You need accountability, someone to keep track of you, keep you motivated, and make sure you're not falling behind. Those are the things that will give you confidence to go out there and talk to everyone. That's where the real learning begins. So if you want to be able to do this in the real world, let's chat. I'll show you why 99% of expats and travelers fail to ever get conversational, and why we succeed, and how we're going to succeed specifically with you, with your life, your schedule, your level, your goals. Mention the secret word, vamos, for a limited lifetime guarantee, where if you join our program, we'll make sure you get to your goals at no extra cost. If you finish the program and you haven't reached your goals, you continue working with us for free. It's a guarantee. El español te va a cambiar la vida. Nos vemos pronto. Vamos.